Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you've never seen me before, my name is Chelsea and I write books about Black girls who aren't all that nice. And this is a writing update. So as of right now, today is December 11th, 2023. So we are coming up on the end of the year. And I have pretty much just had my head down for most of November and probably most of December. I've been sort of taking like a social media break just so I can focus heavily on like writing and doing some of the like background things that need to be done. But I do want to update you guys and keep you abreast, I guess, of what's happening on my end. So writerly things first, I am working on Project Necromancer, as you guys know. In the last update, I let you guys know that, I was kind of struggling a little bit with the project of getting it started, getting it off the ground. Well, I am happy to report that is no longer the issue. I am currently at like 18,000 words, going on 19,000 words as of recording this. My goal is to have this book like completely drafted by February 2nd, which is the first Friday in February. Me and the author council kind of came together and we were like, hey, we all have individual goals. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a deadline and we're all going to hold each other accountable for our individual projects. So one of us is editing, one of us is creating a story Bible and revising. One of us is working on a completely separate project. And of course, I'm working on Project Necromancer and I'm like, I want to have it done, like done, in the sense of I want the entire first draft drafted, like ready to revise, ready to get into it, because I know that 2024 is going to be a very ambitious year for me as it pertains to my writing. And I just want to set myself up for a win as best I can. So the goal is to have it done by February 2nd. Based off of how long the Wrath of the Gods series were, both of those books are right around 110,000 words. So I'm kind of guessing that Nessa's story is also going to be around 110,000 words. So with that in mind, I could probably make the deadline, and if I can't, get really close to it, because the ultimate goal of this deadline is not necessarily to be like, I have to have it done by the 2nd. It's more so like I need to basically keep this fire under myself so that I don't, procrastinate and put it off and be like, oh, I've got time. Oh, I've got time. The thing is, it's like I have time, but I want to use it wisely. So that is the goal. So if you guys aren't already, this is your reminder to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I am definitely going to be doing more writing sprints while I'm trying to get this done. Speaking of, if you are interested in little snippets of what I'm working on, I am sharing that with my newsletter in the Patreon. So this is your reminder to sign up for that. $5 gets you into our Discord server, but you can feel free to sign up for whatever tier you like to support. Okay. But that being said, 2024, like I said, there are a lot of things that I want to do that I am feeling very ambitious about at the moment. We will see how that works out. But the first goal, aside from finishing the draft of Project Necromancer, is I want to write and release the third book of the trilogy, the Wrath of the Gods trilogy, Brandy's story. So I already have the first scene of the trilogy started, and I have already written the last scene of the trilogy. So all I have to do now is fill in the middle. Sounds simple in theory, but I was talking to one of my author friends and I was just like, it's kind of crazy because, I've been working on Brandy's story for so long and it's been with me for over a decade at this point. And it's kind of weird to like actually have the book written and it's out in the world and like people are reading it and enjoying it, right? But also to be at a point where I'm like, okay, I am ready to write the end of this trilogy. I'm ready to like let this story go. And that is such an odd feeling for me, because when I started writing, I think if you guys have been around the channel, you already know this about me, but my first book was not We Are the Origin. It was actually a romance novella called Keeping Promises. I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but it just kind of hit me that, when I released We Are the Origin, I was like, this is the book that I'm going to pour everything into. This is the book where Keeping Promises was like, I need to write this book to prove to myself that I can do it, that I can write a story from start to finish and I can go through this whole process. And Keeping Promises was a severe learning curve. Like that's where I had to learn everything from scratch. And I picked up, the first of my tools and stuff that I keep in my arsenal, right? But with We Are the Origin, there was like a year time in between publishing Keeping Promises and even starting We Are the Origin. And I did a bunch of stuff in that time, learned a lot of things, picked up a lot of skills, what have you. But then when I started it, I remember just feeling this anxiety. And I don't know if all authors feel this way or if it's just like a me thing. So let me know down in the comments if you ever felt like this. But when I started writing We Are the Origin, I was just like, what if this is the only story that I have in me? What if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't go the way that I think it's going to go? What if this talent that I feel like I have is really just in my head and no one else sees it that way, right? What if I just completely flop and it never goes anywhere, right? I mean, not to be negative, but that's something that like legitimately went through my mind. And for a long time, I just kind of clung to the Wrath of the Gods series because I was like, yeah, I know this story is good. I know this story is exactly what I want it to be. I've had time to think it over, mull it over, go through a million different scenarios, write it out, delete it, write it out again, delete it some more, and just keep playing with it until I honed my craft to the level that I wanted it to be for this book. And then to be able to tell the story that I want to tell in the way that I wanted to tell it, right? And so for a long time, especially at the beginning. So if you go back and watch some of my earlier content, like before We Are the Origin came out, you'll kind of see that as I was talking about the book and the series, it kind of went from, oh, it's going to be a duology to, oh, it's going to be a trilogy to, oh, I don't know how long this is going to be. And it's interesting because like thinking back on that journey in and of itself, I've kind of gotten to a point where I can kind of realize that part of my hesitancy to be like, okay, yes, definitively, this is going to be a trilogy for a long time was just like, I don't know if I'm ready to let this go. This world is big enough for me to write in. And I'm like, what if this is all I've got? What if Brandy is the only character I can write? What if this is the only story that I can actually market and sell? And if so, I don't want to handicap myself. I want to leave that door open so I can always come back to it and yada, yada, yada. I don't know what it is about this season. I don't know what it is about this year, but I have been getting a lot of like hard lessons clear to the face this year where the universe is just like, no, hold up. This is the lesson. Pay attention, right? One of the hard lessons that I have learned this year, specifically within like the last, I'll say 3 to 4-ish weeks, going into 2024, I guess, is that I have to bet on myself. I have to believe in myself. I don't say put all my eggs in one basket because, you know, people tell you not to do that. But in a sense, like I need to put all of my eggs in one basket and believe in myself the way that I see other people believe in me. Mostly Ben, but it's just kind of like, I know that I can do this. I have proven that I can do this, right? I have a track record that says I can do this. And I've been working on other stories where it's just like, this is not the only story in me. And so it's just like leaving that sense of doubt and that sense of, you know, imposter syndrome. I'm trying very hard to leave that in 2023 so that 2024, I can walk fully in my purpose and my calling. But we will see how that works out. Only time will tell. But I say all that to say that it's really nice to be at a point where it's just like, I am ready to let Brandy and her story go. And after writing the final scene of the trilogy, like I know how it's going to end definitively. I thought I was going to be a lot more like sad about it, but I'm excited. Like I'm grateful for this story and all the doors that it has opened for me and all the opportunities that it's brought my way. And I can also acknowledge that at the same time, there are other stories that I want to write, other things that I want to do creatively. And so 2024 is going to be all about that. So ending up the trilogy and publishing that because my goal is to have it come out in 2024. The first book came out in 2022. The second book came out in 2023. So I want the final book to come out in 2024. That is like my biggest goal, honestly. I also want to hone my short story skills. So one of the things that I want to do is Fire Lit Mag. It's like a Black speculative fiction magazine. And I have been subscribed to their newsletter for a very long time. And I also read the issues when I can. And I have just always kind of been in awe of the skill and things represented there. So one of the things that I wanted to do, because they post the prompts that they are going to use for the submissions in advance. So one of the things that I wanted to do, I was like, okay, 2024, I'm going to actually submit. And that is also kind of like a terrifying thing. But like I said, I am entering a phase where I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to cast my dice. I'm going to try my luck, right? Because the worst they can say is no. The worst they can say is, hey, thanks for submitting, but no thanks, right? So we're going to see how that works out. I also am, I guess I can announce this now. One of the things that I'm working on with the Melanin Library is an anthology. So and I say we because it's not just me, this is a team effort. Like, it's through the Melanin Library and written in Melanin, but I actually have a team of people helping me this time. And we are putting together an anthology, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. Mostly because I have participated in an anthology before. So shout out to Holly in the Stygian Society. My short story Burn is in the Stygian collection. So y'all already know there's a link in the description to check that out if you want to get it. And it was a really great experience. So one of my author friends also has done anthologies before, and I don't know, I just think my friends are talented, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. I just think they're really talented. And so I was like, one of the things that I wanted to do when I first started Written in Melanin back in 2020 was like, I want to do an anthology. I want to get Black authors together, and I want to showcase our creativity, because my company, everything about my company, my brand, y'all already know, is about uplifting and supporting and spotlighting Black authors. Like, that is what I'm about. So for the longest, I wanted to do an anthology, and it just never came to fruition because I didn't have the connections that I have now at the beginning, obviously. But I also didn't have my own writing skill has gotten better. I didn't have that in the beginning, and I didn't really know what I was doing in the beginning. So take all the experiences that I've had between then and now, and it's like, we're doing it. This is a real thing. It's happening, and I am so excited. I can't announce any of the authors who have agreed to be a part of it as of yet, because we are still getting contracts and things signed, but they have been sent out. We have verbal confirmation from some authors that I'm really excited to work with, and we have started kind of looking into cover ideas and things like that. And so I'm excited. I'm really excited about it. And part of it is that I'm doing something that I've always wanted to do, right? It's going to be a Black anthology with Black authors writing Black stories that are written for Black readers. It's going to be blackity black, black, from top to bottom, left to right, beginning to end. And I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. But I am also excited because this is going to be part of a major relaunch for the Melanin Library. And I can't wait to be able to talk a little bit more in depth about it. But if you guys have been to the website, you'll notice that we have on the homepage, instead of what it was before, it says, the Melanin Library is under construction. And it is. We are working on giving the site a facelift. We are working on getting some services, both for authors and for readers, because one of the things that I want the Melanin Library to do is to be able to kind of bridge the gap between Black authors and Black readers. Because as a Black author myself, it is so... what's the word I'm looking for? It's so refreshing when a Black reader has my book in hand. And I'm sure you guys have seen it if you spent any time in the bookish communities on Twitter or TikTok, because they talk about it a lot, about how Black authors want to get their books in the hands of Black reviewers, because basically that's who we're writing for, right? And with that in mind, what I want to do with the Melanin Library is to help bridge that gap just a little bit. So we have some services that we are trying to get organized. Hopefully, prayerfully, we will have a community aspect that we are working on. So that being said, we have some services coming up for you guys. We have some community aspects that we are working on, because one of the things that I also want to do with the Melanin Library is to make sure that you guys actually have a way to communicate. So it's not just, I found a book, but there are so many things that I want to do. But we are working on that. We're working on an anthology. And if everything goes according to plan, we will also be hosting a virtual event sometime in the near future. So keep an eye out for that as well. We will see how that works out. So a lot of ambitious goals, but it's very nice to actually have a team of people who support what it is that I'm trying to do and are helping me with this. So y'all have probably heard me say that for a long time. Written in Melanin, the Melanin Library has been a one-woman show. I'm happy, glad, grateful to say that it is no longer a one-woman show. Hopefully that means that you guys will have more content coming from me regularly, more updates coming, and things of that nature. So I'm going to leave that where it is for sure. If you are watching this, let me know how you're doing, what you're doing. Tell me for sure what you were leaving in 2023 as far as your writing career, because I want to know. Like I said, for me, I'm leaving behind imposter syndrome and I am betting on myself, right? So 2024 is going to be me 100% going after my goals, full force, no holds barred. So I'm excited for that. Very excited. Let me know what your goals are for 2024. And yeah, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. I do writing sprints on Thursdays around 11 o'clock-ish. Sometimes it deviates, but Thursdays, 11 o'clock. And starting January, we will be back with the Melanin Chat with me and my co-host, Audra Russell. So you don't want to miss when we go live. Tap the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, do all the things. Tell someone who you think would like this content about the channel. And that's it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. And until next time, I hope your days are lovely and your books are interesting. Bye, you guys.